All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rines Report. I am back with Sam Montana. Say hello to the people, Sam.
Hello, everybody. It's me.
It's Sam!
It's me.
Me! We are live from Radford University on RadioFreeRadford.com. Plenty to talk about today. My NFL Mock Draft 3.0 going to hit the top 15 today. Best wide receivers, what the Brandin Cooks trade means for the Patriots and Odell Beckham, and how the Bills are going to move up, or the potential for that move. So let's get right into it. You and I were having a heated debate yesterday about the Brandin Cooks trade to the LA Rams, what it means for the Patriots. Give me your take, Sam. Go for it.
All right. So I understand the decision because they want to move up in the draft. So in that respect, it's a good decision. It all depends on how they end up drafting, right? If they go for somebody, I'm assuming they're going to go for a quarterback, right? That's the assumption. They're probably going for a quarterback at this point because they've got 2 first-round picks, they've got 2 second-round picks, a third-round pick. They've got a lot of picks, early picks too. My only concern with trading Brandin Cooks is the fact that going into past this year, I'm afraid that their receiver list is going to be pretty short because Julian Edelman's getting old. He's going to be 32 this year, and we don't even know how well he's going to perform next year. We assume he's going to be good, but, I mean, nasty ACL injury. There's a possibility he's going to come back and not perform the way he did in 2015. So I'm worried there because there's a possibility he won't be back after next year, and he might not even perform well this year. I don't think Rob Gronkowski is going to play after next year. It was a hassle to get him back this year. So I just have a feeling he will not play he either won't play at all or he won't play for the Patriots after 2018-2019. So my concern then is if Edelman's gone and Gronk is gone, the potential of them both being gone, then what do you have? You've got Hogan, and Hogan's been great. But you got Hogan, you've got Mitchell, who also is injured. We don't know how well he's going to play. And then you've got Dorsett and Kenny Britt, right? Isn't that the other one?
Oh, that's right. Kenny Britt's still on the team.
He's still on the team.
So I was just catching my breath throwing it up. We are on Facebook Live per the moment. Sam might have to peek his head in. My screen isn't that large. But
What's up, everybody?
Hey, it's Sam! That's Sam's face, everyone. Just remember it.
Or don't.
So just to recap the trade, the Patriots gave Cooks and a 4th-round pick to the LA Rams. In return, they got the 23rd pick and a 6th-round pick. So a 1st-round pick, 6th-round pick. I think this is a great move for the future.
Yeah,
that's my idea behind this trade. And you and I were arguing because you're like, oh, I'd rather have Odell Beckham. Now,
you want to get into that right now?
Well, I mean, I'm going to bring it up, but I'm going to go in brackets. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk about my ideas on why they did it, and then we're going to talk about Beckham.
I'm concerned,
that's
but I am
that's a whole
concerned that
discussion.
moving into the future, we're not he was a wide receiver that you could sign for the potential long haul because he's still really young. He's really good.
You could, but I don't think Bill. See, the thing is, Bill has a history from what I was doing when I was doing my research on this trade in general. Like Deion Branch was going into a contract season after they won the 3rd Super Bowl. That's why they let him go because they didn't want to pay him. They didn't want to trade. They didn't want to pay who else? It was somebody else,
everybody.
like Chandler Jones.
Everybody, man.
People like that. Who was the other? Like Jamie Collins. They didn't want to pay him. So rather than pay him, just trade him off. We'll find more talent, guys who can do that job. I mean, maybe not as effectively, but we're not gonna worry about it.
No, but here's my thing. Like, Brady's only got so many years left. If Edelman and Gronk are gone next year, there's going to be an entire year where he's going to have to rebuild chemistry with wide receivers then. And at his age, do you really want to do that when he's only going to play for probably 2 years at max? It all depends on how they
This
draft.
is a money move. This isn't necessarily I think the Brandin Cooks experiment worked decently well. Like I think the idea was I thought he was going to have 1,200 yards this season. I thought that Brandin Cooks was going to have a really successful season, and
Well, it was his first year in the system.
Exactly. So I think that having another year, being more used to Brady, coming back from that devastating hit for Malcolm Jenkins, dude looked like he died on the field. I'm sorry, dude. But
He did. He
got clobbered. I remember seeing that. That was insane. We got clobbered on the field, traded to the LA Rams. I'm pretty sure he woke up from that and found out he was traded to the Rams.
Stop. He just woke up like last week. I think that.
Well, yeah, I think Brandin Cooks automatically fits that system.
Yeah.
They're very over the top, strike downfield, very really fast system. I think Cooks works well. He's able to separate from receivers. Sammy Watkins is gone. They got Robert Woods. Robert Woods is another really fast receiver as well. I think that Cooks fits in that system better. I think he'd look good in a Rams uniform as well. I think he could have been there from the beginning, and then they would be the ones shelling out the money for him.
He's gonna fill that Sammy Watkins role, like better. He's basically a better Sammy Watkins.
He's a little smaller, like height wise, but I think he's a better overall receiver.
Yeah.
And like I said, this comes down to a money issue. Like Chandler Jones was worth every penny that the Cardinals paid him, right?
Oh yeah.
Worth a ton of money, but Bill is notorious for letting people go, and then, that's it. That's the way it goes.
I'm just worried in the next 2 years we're going to be in the receiver.
And think about this: there have been a number of players that Bill has let go in the past, like Richard Seymour. He let what was it? Who was that? Like Malloy, Wes Welker. He let him go. This is now Cooks. Moss was let go after a little while.
Here's my thing, though. Do you remember what happened after Welker was gone, and then the whole thing?
Well, yeah, the Broncos had the greatest offensive season of all time.
Yeah, but no, that's not my point. My point is we lost Welker, and then we had like no receivers for that entire year, and Brady had to basically carry us to the championship. And statistically, our offense was not good.
No,
it was bad.
It takes time to get used to it,
I'm
not denying that if Edelman's gone and Gronk is gone, that the Patriots are not a Super Bowl caliber team. Because I think Brady is enough to will that team to the playoffs, but the offense wouldn't be good enough without.
Here's the thing though. If Bill decides, hey, we're going to go draft a wide receiver either in the first or the second round, or a tight end, somebody who can catch the ball well and have a couple of years once Edelman and Gronk are potentially gone.
I mean,
that would then it's not such an issue. But it all depends on how we draft.
See, my idea is that this could be, the picks are going to be used effectively. They could be trying to make moves to get a quarterback of the future, and my bold prediction is that if this is all relying on a few things, but I think the Patriots could be trying to go after Lamar Jackson. It'd be a change of pace offensively. Josh McDaniels is the heir apparent to Bill Belichick for the Patriots. He could be trying to bring in a guy to learn from Tom Brady and be able to take over for the New England Patriots.
No, that's smart.
I think Lamar Jackson would be a great pick at number 23. All right, that's in case the Bills don't get him at 22, because that's where they sit. Or if the Bills don't get a quarterback early in the draft, because I'll be bringing this one up here right after this segment. But the Bills are trying to move up, so there's a lot of talk about that. I think if he's available at 23, the Patriots take Lamar Jackson out of Louisville, the quarterback.
Yeah.
Number 31, it's a little up in the air. I think it could be Colton Miller at a UCLA offensive tackle. It's a big need after Nate Solder was gone, I don't think Will Hernandez could be there. I think he'd be a good pickup. So if the Patriots wanted to keep moving up, maybe swap 31st with some of the other mid-level teams, try to go get him. But they've been really quiet about their draft intentions. But the team, they need a quarterback of the future, a left tackle now, wide receiver. I wouldn't say they needed a wide receiver right now. Having Cooks was a luxury. Remember that, because it was Hogan and Edelman. That's what it was.
But it's not. Look, you need a quarterback and a left tackle more. I get that, but I think they should draft a wide receiver for sure in maybe the first two, maybe the third pick.
I would put him
the third round pick.
I would put the Patriots taking wide receiver maybe in the second round.
Yeah,
because there's some quality receivers that are going to go later.
Yes.
There's some. I haven't gotten a chance to look at everybody's scouting. I haven't looked at everybody's tape yet. But from what I understand, there are a few good picks out of the conversations that I've had.
There's a lot of good running backs.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
The Patriots are heavy at running back right now. They got Hill, they have White, they have Burkhead still. Those are three really good options at running back.
But if they see someone really, really good, it's a good pickup.
Oh, and Bolden too. My bad.
Oh, they do. But
if there's somebody really good,
that's what I mean. Who's left? It's a pretty good class.
And the Patriots are not a team that likes to take luxuries. Like Brandin Cooks was a luxury that was helpful. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't a need. Like you have to remember that. Brandin Cooks wasn't a need. He stretched the field, but the Patriots for the last 4 years have been a short passing game.
Yep.
Maybe bomb it down the field on the occasion. That's what Gronk's for. Edelman's the underneath guy. Hogan's a vertical guy.
Hogan will.
Mitchell's a middle of the field kind of guy. Middle, you know what I mean?
If Mitchell comes back and is healthy and plays as good as he did in 2015,
Mitchell was amazing, which is why I think it made the Patriots' decision easier to let Cooks walk.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that Mitchell is looking fine coming out of
missing an entire year.
But he's been rehabbing, I'm sure.
I am nervous.
You have Dorsett, you have Britt, who's a veteran. You know what I mean? We didn't see a lot of Britt, but I think it's mostly because of the system. He just wasn't used to it.
No, he showed up so late. He was just there in case something happened.
Exactly. He was a precaution.
The thing is, two of your top wide receivers are coming off of missing an entire year. The odds of both of them coming back and being healthy and 100% and firing the way they were before they were injured, not high. I don't think so. Not missing both of them missing a whole year.
I mean, we saw Adrian Peterson, man. Dude won the MVP coming off
I know,
ACL.
but the odds of both of them coming back and
No. What I'm saying is that it's not impossible that Edelman's going to still do the same kind of stuff. I think Edelman will be okay.
I hope so. He's like my favorite.
I think Mitchell, we don't know enough about the guy yet. So just to be fair, we don't know enough about Malcolm Mitchell to say whether or not he's going to be the guy for the New England Patriots. But when he did play,
he was fantastic.
Exactly.
So
made a few clutch catches in Super Bowl 51. Oh, yeah. Dude's a champion. Now, let's see. Yeah, wide receiver, linebacker, and strong safety are also the other things as well. Now, the argument of conversation that's going to ensue, maybe, it's about Odell Beckham to the Patriots. And you had we had a discussion that probably lasted the course of a few hours, back and forth over periods of time, but it was a back and forth conversation about the Patriots potentially getting Odell Beckham, because the asking price that we heard within the last 2 weeks from the New York Giants, spread about in the sports media via ESPN, like Ian Rappaport, those kind of guys, was that the Patriots, stop phones. Anyway. Was that the Giants were asking for 2 first-round picks. Now everybody's like, oh, the Patriots have 2 first-round picks? Odell Beckham is potentially on the market? I'm not buying.
I mean, I'll say this. I don't think he's actually worth 2 first-round picks.
No, I don't think he's worth. I don't think he's worth 2 first-round
He's also,
picks.
How much money is he asking for?
He's asking. I've heard rumors that he wants to be the highest-paid player in the NFL. While he's an exciting guy, he's not worth $30 million.
No one is going to pay him $30 million. If he wants to play, he needs to understand he's not making.
But what was your theory about why he's asked for such a high dollar?
Well, my theory is that he's asking for such high money because he doesn't want to play in New York anymore. For whatever reason, he doesn't want to play in New York. I don't know why. You'd think you'd want to be in New York, right? It's New York City. It's the big.
It might not. It just might be the management and the ownership, perhaps.
That's
I mean, they lost the management, but the ownership maybe he and Mayer just don't get along.
He doesn't seem to like it there anymore. So I think part of the reason he's like, hey, I don't like it here anymore. If you want me to play,
they had a less than fortunate season last year. You know what I mean? Like, bad season. Maybe it's the atmosphere, the locker room. We have heard, this is a quote, that Eli Apple, one of the corners, is a cancer.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote. I think it's the locker room culture. There's a lot of uncertainty as far as, what's the system looking like with Shermer? What's the management looking like?
What's the future?
There's a lot of fuzziness because the Giants are sitting at 2. The Giants have there's a lot of potential with the number 2 pick.
Yeah.
I mean, you're relying on Cleveland to either get Darnold or do whatever the heck they want with the pick, but you're going to have great options at 2 still.
Yes. I just think the thing was, I think Odell doesn't want to play in New York anymore, and so I think basically what he was saying is, hey, if you want me to, I don't like playing here. If you want me to continue playing here, you're going to have to pay me so much money that you don't want me here.
Yeah.
And so I think that was his strategy. I don't think he actually expects to get paid that much. So, like, if he were to go to...
I think he's worth like $12, $13 million a season.
I'd push it 16 at most. At the most.
I wouldn't push it.
I would.
I would not...
He's pretty spectacular.
I wouldn't give up more than $15 million a season.
He's pretty spectacular.
He's spectacular, but I don't know if he's worth $15 million per season. That's me. Like, I'm trying to be generous here because I don't like paying terrible amounts for wide receivers. That's just me. Like, even if I'm the Patriots, like, for a fact Bill Belichick does not want to pay Odell Beckham $15 million.
Here's the thing, though, because what I was saying yesterday. I don't think Gronk is going to be around after next year. So if he's not playing there anymore, think about all the cap space that opens up. You could bring in Odell, and then after this year, sign him and pay him as much as you paid Gronk.
I mean, you have a conversation with Gronk maybe, and then see, okay, what is your plan? Because this year, there's a lot of confusion on whether or not you're going to keep playing. If this is your final season and you feel like this is it, then yeah, that makes sense.
That's the only way it works. You trade a first and a second for him, and then that's all assuming Gronk doesn't come back, and you can pay him what you paid Gronk. But that's a whole lot of ifs and...
On a 1 to 10 scale if possible, what would you put it as?
I'll put it at 50-50. Belichick's done stuff before where you're like, whoa, I never expected he'd do that.
So you'd say about a 5. I think there's like...
5.
Honestly, I'm a little higher than that. I think there's a 70% chance this actually could happen.
That high? Are you serious?
I think there's a 70% chance that the Patriots go after him. Because the Rams are out of the running. I think there's a lot of teams out there that wish they could make it happen. But I don't think they can.
But the Patriots could make it happen. That's the thing.
I don't think he's worth more than the 31st and then maybe San Francisco's second round.
I agree. That's what
I think that's the worth you get for Odell Beckham. Because look, it's still a risk of how much money you got to pay the guy to play. He's coming off of an injury. Spectacular superstar player. And if you can make it happen, go make it happen. I don't think he's worth both of your first overall.
Oh, no,
first
absolutely
round
not.
picks.
I wouldn't do that in a million years.
No
way.
No, he's worth your 31st. You get your wide receiver out of the way. You could possibly wait to get an offensive tackle in later rounds, but the Patriots, without a steady offensive line, can suffer. Like, you have to keep Brady up. And while he is great under pressure, he had the highest completion percentage. I think it was like 89% completion percentage under pressure or something like that.
I was thinking about it though yesterday. Our line is okay. It's fine. We should draft a couple of, we should draft a left tackle. Like, I think we should.
There were players last season that the Patriots also got that were just sitting on the bench, like waiting, maybe like some small things. They were very good, as far as I understand.
Yeah, I don't
practice.
I don't think our line is in as much trouble as some people are making it out to be with Solder being gone. I mean, it stinks that he's gone, but I think that other guys
I think the best thing you could have had was Solder. That's just
no, I agree, but I don't think it's like the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like, instead of having an A guy, grade an A there, you put a B there. I mean, it's not the end of the world, right? It'd be nicer to have a great left tackle, but if you have a good left tackle, you can live with it. Mm-hmm. Bill can live with that totally. He'll be like, okay. I think they are going to go for a offensive lineman though in the first or second round.
Yeah, it depends. I think if Lamar Jackson's available at 23 though, I wouldn't be terrifyingly surprised if the Patriots didn't pick him, because it just doesn't work. Maybe it doesn't work with that system. Maybe it's just not like what McDaniels might be looking for the offense. But a part of me would also be surprised they didn't take him.
When did Jimmy go? Was he second round?
He was a second round pick.
I mean, they could wait till the second. They've done that before, and it's worked out.
It's just a lot of the talent at quarterback is sitting in the first round. They're for sure first-round picks. You have Allen, you have Mayfield, you have Darnold, you have Rosen, and you have Jackson. All five of those quarterbacks, first-round picks. Yeah. That's just my opinion. Bill likes guys that are productive, though. I mean, speaking of Odell, and they've had Ocho Cinco, they've had Randy Moss. It could very well be Odell Beckham.
One of those worked out.
One of them, yeah. Broke some records, like 23 touchdowns in a season kind of record.
It's possible. It sounds like you've softened your position, and I've softened my position.
A little bit. I mean, we did have an entire debate.
We did, but it was very much, we were talking about this right when the trade happened, so we both were like,
very fresh.
But
very fresh
both
off the
slept
top.
on it. You're more like, it could happen. I'm like, it might not. I think we're both a little more.
I think it's
possible.
There's also rumors out there that saying that the Patriots aren't as interested as people are hoping.
Yeah.
But you never know. It's smoke and mirrors when it comes out of. But if there's anything coming out of New England, you're not even sure how.
There's 50% chance it's false.
Yeah. There's like, they might be saying that, but it could be complete like bullcrap. You know what I mean? The Bills are looking to shake up the draft. Bleacher Report said they were attempting to move to the number 2 spot to get their next franchise quarterback. I think at 2, it would take a large amount of picks, maybe even players from Buffalo to get the New York Giants to give up that number 2 pick.
I mean, that's been a rumor for a while. No,
it's been rumored that they want to keep moving up, but it's not. This is a definite. We want to go to number 2 because Sam Darnold's going 1.
How many picks do you think it would take?
How many picks?
If you were the Giants.
If you're the Giants, I would try to get a compensation worthy of what the Rams got for RG3. Because the Rams got like 5 picks from the Redskins to go get RG3. Oh, speaking of which, he signed with the Ravens today, if that's news to anybody.
Cool.
I think he'd be a good backup. I think he's still...
Seems like a good guy.
I think he's still a good quarterback. That's just me.
Remember those Subway commercials?
Eat fresh, man. Let's see. But I think... Well, the Bills are currently at 12. And we're going to get into my mock draft after this little segment, but I wanted to make people aware of what's going on here. They made the playoffs last season, moving in the right direction. Their biggest obstacle is, do the Giants want to get a quarterback? Are the Giants considering, I don't think they're going to go after Rosen. I'll make that loud and clear. If you've been watching anything news-wise, media-wise lately, I think that it's pretty definitive that they're not going to go after Josh Rosen. But you got Josh Allen, Mayfield, and you have Lamar Jackson, potentially at number 2. I think Sam Darnold for sure is still going 1.
If I'm the Giants, I'm taking a quarterback because Eli is... How old's Eli now?
I think he'll be 37, 38 almost.
Yeah, I'm taking a quarterback.
I could be a little high on that one, but I'm not. I know I'm not far off.
No, you're not. I wouldn't. Honestly, they could pick up a quarterback, have Eli play 1 more year, and then trade him.
Yeah, that seems like the best case scenario for me.
I'd do that.
That's my idea. But there's also, do you try to continue helping Eli? Because if you give him a better offensive line, he can keep playing. The dude doesn't miss games. First off, he got benched. He was not injured to miss that game.
Has he ever been hurt? Seriously? I don't think he
No.
has. Yeah.
No. So Eli is consistent, shows up every week, and he's still a starter. You know what I mean? But if you bring in a guy to learn behind Eli, I think it's worth the number 2 overall pick to develop a guy, potentially Allen Jackson or Mayfield, and then bring him into the spotlight with a pretty solid team around him.
Who is the third? Is it the Jets?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. And then it's the Browns again.
But I think the Giants are in a great position here when it comes to the Bills, because think about this. If you get like 5 picks, because the Rams gave up, first round picks, or no, the Redskins gave up first round picks for the 3 following seasons to the Rams. If you can get 3 of those picks, it's worth it.
What?
3 first round picks for that number 2 spot, the Bills must really, really like somebody enough to want to take them at 2.
I wonder why. Do you think? What about trading with Cleveland for the number 4?
Maybe.
Hold on. We're talking 5 great quarterbacks. You go have 4, you're guaranteed probably to pick.
But Jackson, but from what we understand, is that Jackson he could very well last farther down. So you could just stay at 12 and hope for Jackson.
That's a gamble.
It's a gamble, but it's possible.
I mean, I would honestly, if the Giants don't want to give me the 2, going for the 4th isn't a bad option. Like backup wise, I think that actually makes.
You're still going to have at least
a good
2 quarterbacks left on the board.
2 of the top quarterbacks.
Because the Jets, we know, are taking a quarterback. That's
100%.
That's
Browns,
there's
100%.
there's nothing less of a sure bet that that's going to happen.
The Browns.
Well, the Browns are obviously going to take a
more.
quarterback. Well, they should take a quarterback. I don't know.
What if they don't?
We don't even know they're going to take one at 1 because they still have the 4 spot.
We don't know if they're going to take Darnold. That's a rumor now. We should talk about that rumor that was going around. They might not take Darnold.
I think,
which would be a mistake.
My opinion is that Saquon Barkley is probably the best talent in this draft. Okay. That's my opinion. So if they wanted to take Barkley at 1, that's a good pick to me. I think he could be a once in a, I wouldn't say generation, but he could very well be one of the best. He probably is the best running back in this class. Could be one of the best running backs in the NFL.
I mean,
soon.
Could be.
Yeah, and the price tag on running backs, even now, is not terrifyingly high. Le'Veon Bell keeps trying to reset the market, but the Steelers just do not want to pay that.
Yeah, no.
I don't think they can, but that's just a whole separate argument.
Just keep franchise tagging him.
Yeah, well, this is the last time they could have franchise tagged Le'Veon. Just saying. But I do really like Saquon. I think he'd be worth the number 1 overall pick if the Browns and the Jets and the Giants were not so needy at quarterback.
I'd rather take a quarterback. You have the 4th pick. The odds of him still being there
are still pretty high, which we will get into.
But the fact they don't want Darnold over who was it? They wanted Allen instead of Darnold.
That was also a possibility. Yeah.
That's insane.
Josh Allen potentially being the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. That's a little shocking to me.
Because we were talking about
it's shocking to me because Darnold seems like such a sure thing.
Exactly.
The NFL, a lot of people are comparing him to Andrew Luck kind of talent level. There's the potential to be Andrew Luck. NFL body, he's got a little bit of accuracy issues, lots of turnovers, but so does Luck. But Andrew Luck is, some people regard him as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. So I'm just putting that out there. A lot of these other guys have a very high potential, but Darnold seems like the only surefire kind of thing.
Mayfield too. But he's just got some issues off the field, but I think he's ready.
A little bit off the field issues, and it's just hype with Mayfield.
But I think he's ready.
I mean,
those are the 2 for me that are ready.
Mayfield had a heck of the last few seasons over at Oklahoma too.
Yes.
So it's not like he's not a good quarterback.
It's just a personality issue.
But they're Big Ten, aren't they? The Oklahoma, aren't they Big Ten or something like that?
So we're not huge college football fans, guys. Just putting that out there.
I know there's a lot of debate on the level of difficulty for certain levels. The SEC is almost a cakewalk for Alabama. They're playing against teams like Arkansas and stuff like that. Sorry if you're an Arkansas fan. That's just what the media is. The Big Ten, I think, is a little more competitive from what I understand. I could be wrong. Who knows, man? I got to get more into college football.
Me
just
too.
in general, knowing what's going on with every team.
I just think it's insane they might not take Darnold.
It is insane, though. I think that Darnold is worth the number 1 overall pick. Barkley could still be there at 4. You're right. And that's who you could take right there at 4. You have your quarterback, running back combination. You're set for the future.
I think the Giants are going to take a quarterback, though. I have a gut feeling they're going to take a quarterback. And I don't know if that's necessarily a good or a bad thing. I mean, you could argue take Saquon, but I don't know. What do you think the Giants are going to take?
Who do you think is the most surefire, solid pick in this draft? No matter where he goes.
Probably Saquon Barkley.
Saquon?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Because some people are thinking he could be the next Barry Sanders, which my only issue with that is...
Slow down.
My issue with that is that I think Kareem Hunt already is the next Barry Sanders.
Again,
That's my opinion. I think Kareem Hunt's a beast, man. He tears up teams, man.
No,
Led
he
the NFL
does.
in rushing his rookie season.
He does.
Super elusive.
Yep.
Doesn't drop the ball as much. You know what I mean? Like, he actually holds on to the ball. And if he does fumble the first snap of the game, he's going to torch you for 200-plus yards from scrimmage.
When did that happen?
Week 1. Week 1! I should have taken him in fantasy. I remember seeing that, too. I remember seeing, like, who the heck is... Who is this guy, K. Hunt, out of Kansas City? Oh, week 1 happens, and I'm out.
Yep.
Gone.
Yep.
Still made it second place in my fantasy league, though. I'm pretty happy about that. That's called management, ladies and gentlemen.
You ain't first, you're last.
Second place is just the first loser. Let's see. So we have mock draft 3.0. I'm doing the top 15 picks for the NFL draft. So there's plenty to talk about here. Feel free to just back and forth with me on this one heavily. Let's see. Still have plenty of time. About
we
half
have
an hour.
so much
We
time.
have 30 minutes to go through. We might just start gibbering.
Probably. No, we'll circle back to Odell Beckham.
I'm sure of all things.
Oh, we should talk about the Rams though, and how loaded they are.
Yeah, we can talk about the Rams for sure. We have 30 minutes left.
How are they so loaded? How do they even have space for these guys? Really?
We'll talk about that after this mock
Okay,
draft.
go for it.
We'll talk about that, and then we're going to top off the show with the top 10 wide receivers. All right, so mock draft 3.0, number 1 overall pick, Cleveland. Like I've been saying, I got Sam Darnold, quarterback USC. I feel he's the most surefire pick at quarterback this year. Like, consistently can come in and be your starter very soon. Number 2, this is a little bit of a shuffle from what I've been doing the last couple weeks. I got Josh Allen, quarterback, Wyoming, to the New York Giants. I think the Giants take a big risk in Josh Allen, let him sit behind Eli for a year and try to develop his accuracy, because the man has a cannon. I don't think I've ever seen an arm talent like this since... Oh, no, wait, don't forget Pat Mahomes, man. Dude threw like a 70-yard bomb at his pro day last year for Texas Tech. I think it's the other big arm that I've seen that I'm like super impressed by.
Yeah.
But Pat Mahomes was putting up numbers at Texas Tech. Let's just not forget that. The New York Jets, I think they're going to take Baker Mayfield out of Oklahoma, bring back that, Joe Namath-esque swagger to the New York Jets. Jets fans have been craving a good quarterback to lead that team for a long time.
How about just a quarterback that is...
He's no Mark Sanchez.
How about just a quarterback that isn't like bland toast? Like, honestly, though, when's the last time they've had a really exciting quarterback?
I mean, they got McCown this year. Pretty okay.
Not exciting, though.
Not exciting. Has a few good games, but not as exciting as
Mayfield would be.
Mayfield could be. Or like a Namath.
I
know what I mean?
I think no matter where Mayfield goes.
Broadway Mayfield? What's the nickname going to be for Baker? Broadway Baker. Broadway Baker. I've heard that one.
I think Skip. Skip's the one who...
Yeah. Skip Bayless.
Hey, Skip.
Number 4, the Cleveland Browns take Saquon Barkley, running back out of Penn State. I think it's a solid, safe pick. One of the best players in this draft. Shout out to Voch Lombardi again, by the way. Dude provides some great film analysis. No, he's a fan of the show. I'm a fan of his. So thanks for the shout-outs. Number 5, I think this is the trade right here. The Buffalo Bills trade with the Denver Broncos to move up to number 5 and take Josh Rosen, quarterback, UCLA.
I like that.
I think it's a good pick. I think he could very well be there. And the only reason why I say Josh Rosen at 5 is because I think teams are not biting on Rosen because of things like John Mayer has been saying, like, oh, this guy doesn't seem as committed. Like, he's a millennial. He's like, basically he was saying, I hate the millennial argument, but what he's saying is basically, I don't think Rosen's as committed to football as he should be for somebody who is this talented.
Is he talented, though?
The kid's incredibly talented.
Then what? Like, why don't...
He doesn't like... Basically, it's personal issues. Like, he doesn't... From what I understand, is that he butts heads with a lot of coaches, thinks he knows everything, loudmouth kind of guy. But I think Buffalo takes the chance on him, and I think it could work out. We'll see. Indianapolis, I still think they're going to take Bradley Chubb, defensive end out of NC State. He's got a really high motor, really good hands, knows how to get after the quarterback. I think this is a really solid pick for Indianapolis. Start going away from the offense. Start building that defense, man. That's what you really need in the NFL these days. Tampa Bay at number 7, Minka Fitzpatrick, defensive back out of Alabama. This kid's all over the place. You can put him in the nickel. You can have him cover your number 1 wide receiver, cover tight ends, throw him over the top. He's a Swiss Army knife of defensive backfield. I like him a lot. A lot of people were really hyped on Minka Fitzpatrick, too, going in further. They thought he was going to be like a top like 5 pick. We'll see.
I mean, the thing is, everybody needs a quarterback this year.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the thing.
Let's see. Number 8, Chicago. The guy I think is potentially going to be one of the best linemen in the NFL. I really, really like Quentin Nelson. Notre Dame seems to push out really good offensive linemen consistently. Quentin Nelson seems like the safest pick in this draft, and knows how to get downfield. Really good run blocker. Reminds you, you're basically drafting Zach Martin if you're taking Quentin Nelson. Let's see. Number 9, San Francisco. They go cornerback in Denzel Ward out of Ohio State to tandem with Richard Sherman. The secondary gets better.
That's different.
Keep pushing on that defense.
So I think you had the Broncos taking him last week.
Yeah, I did.
But now you think the Broncos are going to...
I think the Broncos are going to just trade down. I don't think that they need anybody that's going to be there. You know what I mean? Like I don't think they need a quarterback if they're really that committed to Case Keenum.
Are they that committed to Case Keenum?
It sounds like they are. I haven't really heard much out of the quarterback realm for them. They could, if Baker Mayfield's there, I thought they could go with him. But we'll see. It depends. It really depends on like what the Bills try to do here. But I think they move up to 5. Let's see. Number 10, Oakland. To couple with Khalil Mack, they get their pass rusher, and they go get, well, not even pass rusher, just good overall outside linebacker who can pass rush. Tremaine Edmonds, outside linebacker, Virginia Tech, from right down the road, down a little bit of the ways, from Radford University. I'm a big fan of Tremaine Edmonds. He has the ability to cover as well if you actually sit down and watch some of his film. Shout-outs to Vaj Lombardi again. He's able to drop back, cover, has pretty good awareness, and is able to get after the ball. So I think he has the qualities Oakland's going to be looking for. John Gruden seems to like guys who get after and, attack the ball carrier. We've seen that in the past, so we'll see. We can also talk about John Gruden in general and see, how committed, how do you feel about John Gruden? You know what I mean? With the Raiders, like, what do you think his moves are? Really, like releasing Marquette King over like just personal things.
He's rebuilding, which makes sense. My biggest concern with him is it's just been a while since he's coached. I don't know if he's going to be able to. I just don't know if he's going to be able to adapt. And if he's going to try to coach the same way he did. How many years ago?
The Raiders made a huge investment on Gruden.
Oh, massive.
10 years, $100 million is a lot of money to give to a guy that hasn't coached in a while.
How long has it been? 10 years?
It's been the last time he coached. I think he retired after. I could be wrong, but I want to say like 2003 was his last year coaching. Was he with the Bucs
for like 2 years and then he retired, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's been so long. I don't know if he's going to be like all these other coaches that who like Belichick who were around and stuff. They've adapted over time to the game. Mm-hmm. Is he going to jump in and try to play the game the way he did in 2003, or is he going to adapt?
I mean, the look for John Gruden has always been super heavy defense, just effective offense. So like the team that won the Super Bowl, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You had Warren Sapp, you had Brooks, you had some really, really good. You had John Lynch at the safety position. They were good at all 3 levels of the defense.
He also knew everything about that Raiders team.
Well, that's very true. I mean,
everything. Everything.
One of the unluckiest trades in NFL history. Let's see.
Not a smart move. Not a smart move.
Good job, Oakland.
Yeah, really good job.
Miami at 11. I think they're going to take a wide receiver to fill in the space of Jarvis Landry. I think they're going to go with Calvin Ridley, so he falls back from Chicago all the way to Miami in this mock draft, and they get him out of Alabama. So Denver at 12 in the trade with the Buffalo Bills, which I think they trade maybe like a couple first-round picks for the next few years to move up that high. Roquan Smith, linebacker out of Georgia. The kid knows how to sniff out defenses, downhill, really good in the blitz, run-stopping, stout linebacker. He actually reminds me a little bit of Patrick Willis, in a way.
Denver could use that.
Yeah, and I do like. I think it works well with Von Miller because you have Von Miller who can stick more to edge rushing again, like he always has been, but like really have to just focus on that.
Yeah.
Then you just have a dude patrol in the middle of the field. The Denver defense starts getting better and better. I think they're gonna keep going back to the defensive look of, all right, we're gonna keep building on defense, get better on defense, and then just we don't have to wipe the floor with them offensively.
Consistent football.
Consistent football works. Number 13, Washington, Vita Vea. I think I'm saying that right. I could be wrong. And if you're in the comment section, if I'm saying that wrong, let me know. Nose tackle out of Washington. Basically just another Danny Shelton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like really like large guy, really good run stopper, good hands. He knows how to create leverage. So we'll see. Plus, him paired with Jonathan Allen from last year, who they got out of Alabama, I could think it could be really good for their interior. Number 14, Green Bay, Marcus Davenport, defensive end out of University of Texas. What was the name of the college? I'm trying to look at it. University of Texas at San Antonio. That's right. I had it pulled up especially so I made
Just
sure.
in case.
I made sure that I wasn't going to say it wrong. The Green Bay Packers have been looking for an outside edge rush presence ever since Clay Matthews stopped playing outside linebacker. They keep moving him all over the place, but ever since he stopped playing that position, they've been really trying to heavily enforce getting pass rush, getting after the quarterback. I think that's what's been missing from that team, and it'll just help make Rodgers' job a little easier if quarterbacks are getting sacked 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And finally at 15, I did not do the full 32. Prior to the draft, though, I'm planning on doing the full 32 countdown. Let's see. Arizona takes a safety to replace Tyrann Mathieu, and Derwin James, a safety out of Florida State. Stout guy, really good hitter, and from what I can see, he's pretty decent in coverage. So those are my top 15 picks, mock draft 3.0. If you disagree with me, let me know. I could be wrong. I'm more than likely
roller coaster.
Picking the draft is like trying to pick like the March Madness. You're never going to be right.
You're going to lose.
People are going to trade because there's no way to know who's trading where except for Buffalo.
Yep.
He's either going, let's see, what is this? Okay, Rams intend to extend Brandin Cooks before the 2018 season starts. Good for them.
They're all in on him.
Oh, why wouldn't they be?
But
the dude's a top 20 receiver in the NFL,
yeah.
for sure.
Oh, definitely.
I would put him above. I'd put him above Jordy Nelson, Michael Crabtree.
Ooh, I don't know about Jordy Nelson, but
I would.
I mean, I put him above Doug Baldwin. And I can pull up the stats. We'll get to that.
We'll get to it.
I
don't know. Doug Baldwin's clutch.
No, he is clutch. We'll get to that.
Well, top 10 wide receivers. Sam already doesn't agree with me. We were talking about it before the show.
Do we ever agree with each other about these kind of lists? There's like, no, you know what it is?
Well, no, last week's was totally controversial. I haven't heard anything back from it.
What was the one that I was really...
You were mad that I put Case Keenum so low.
I think you put Sam Bradford above Case Keenum. And
I did.
That...
I still think that's a better.
Okay, well, that's a different... You know what's funny, though?
Sam Bradford just can't stay healthy. I think...
You know what's funny, though? We agree on most, like, when it comes to lists. Like, oh, yeah, I agree with that. I think you're in the ballpark. And then there's, like, 2 or 3 that, like, we vehemently disagree with each other on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's like, no, you're
But don't worry.
wrong.
Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. It's because Sam's wrong.
Oh, my God.
Sam as he researches. Me. Anyway.
Did you guys miss me?
Well, we're doing a top 10 because you couldn't do all the wide receivers on this list without taking the entire hour. Or in the NFL, excuse me.
Of course. Yeah.
So we were in a top 10. I think most people will agree, whether this is your particular order or not. I'm pretty solid on this one. I think the top 2 kind of flip around from season to season.
I think overall you got a decent list here. There's a couple that I don't agree with, but overall it's a good list.
So, but number 1, I have Antonio Brown. He's a consistent MVP candidate, and the fact that he hasn't won one yet, it just shows the reinforcement of how much the quarterback position has taken over the NFL.
Yep.
But I will say Antonio Brown number 1 from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Julio Jones number 2. I love Julio Jones. If there's a receiver I would rather have more than Odell Beckham, for sure it is Julio Jones.
No, Antonio Brown. I'd take Antonio.
Oh no, I love Antonio. Don't get me wrong. But
Julio's great.
I love Julio.
I feel like Antonio's more consistent.
I think Julio is like Calvin Johnson, who is personally one of my favorite wide receivers of all time. Top 3 all time on my list. Fight me.
Backpedal real quick. Do you think Antonio Brown is like in the top like 10 wide receivers of all time?
All time?
Top 10. I'm not saying like top 5 or top 3. I'm saying top 10.
You'd have to give me a list of like some of the greatest, and then we have to determine.
I bet he's around there though.
Oh, for sure.
He's around there. He's probably...
The dude's had some amazing seasons.
Yes.
He really has. And barely ever drops the ball. I don't think I've ever seen a game where I've seen him, like, if he puts his hands on it, he drops it.
Yeah, it's rare.
There's a reason for that 99 rating in Madden. He is a beast, though.
He is.
He's a beast in Madden. If they took the caps off, he'd be like a 110 or something. T.Y. Hilton is number 4 for me. Dude, I don't know, man. He leads the league in receiving almost every other year and is a downhill kind of runner, even in the open field. Can break down safeties and just punish you on the inside. I really like T.Y. Hilton, and I think he's probably if it wasn't for Andrew... even without Andrew Luck, he's the best part of that offense. Consistently. Without Andrew Luck on the field,
without Andrew Luck,
without Andrew Luck on the field, he still led the league in receiving
he's
yards.
the best. He's the best.
He's top 3, top 5 in receiving yards every season, no matter who you put in there at quarterback. If he had Peyton Manning, I bet you he'd be one of the greatest receivers of that era.
That's a possibility.
I'm just saying.
He's that good.
Number 5, DeAndre Hopkins had a monster season this year. If you haven't seen the catch he had against the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm pretty sure it was the Steelers, right? Late in the season.
He had so many good catches.
He bobbles it with one hand here, like a lot higher, obviously, but he bobbles it with like one hand midair, and then it goes to his other hand, brings it in 2 feet down, inbounds. Catch of the year. Monster. And this is totally not biased because he was on my fantasy team.
No, he's.
I had him and Fuller when they destroyed the Seahawks. Like when they both had when Hopkins had over 200 yards and like 2 touchdowns, and Fuller had 2 touchdowns and like 150 plus.
It's insane.
Deshaun Watson was also my quarterback. Just stacking points.
Oh no.
Yeah,
no.
I know. I love Deshaun Watson though.
I think your top 5 is actually correct. I agree 100% on your top 5.
Number 6, I have AJ Green.
Yeah.
I think he suffers from being in Cincinnati. He's the most notable player on that team.
I think everybody suffers.
It's him and Geno Atkins. The 2 amazing, talented football players who are stuck in Cincinnati.
Isn't that sad?
I mean, Cincinnati's they're a viable team, but they're not a playoff team. You know what I mean?
Call me ignorant. Do they have a new coach coming in this year?
No. Still have Marvin Lewis.
Oh, I keep waiting for them to fire him. Like, honestly.
They won't do it. They just won't. You keep making the playoffs, Marvin, you can keep getting a contract, man.
They keep losing in the playoffs.
He has to have something on the owners.
He must.
He has to have
Something terrible.
Oh, we're not good people.
Well, no. Honestly, though.
Never.
No, but why is he still there? Why is he still there? He really should not be there still.
All right. Plenty of battery. Oh, I love the Google Pixel 2 XL. That's just me. I'm not promoting anything. This phone is awesome.
What do you mean? We were promoting Subway earlier. we weren't. I'm just making sure. No, we weren't doing that.
Oh, man.
Please don't call us Subway.
Why wouldn't they? I would...
No, but like if you promote people and you don't get their permission, like you can't get in trouble for that. I'm pretty sure.
No, it's just free promotion.
If they don't like it,
depends
on how you're like.
I'm not disparaging
I know, we're
a
not.
Subway sandwich.
We're not.
I'm sure they send me texts every day about this. They send me a text every day about whatever deal they have going on. It's like a secret. Oh, okay. Well, if you renew this code, we'll give you $1 off on a 6-inch meal.
And you're the only person getting this, of course.
Of course.
In the entire world.
The entire world. This is definitely.
Self-absorbed. Self-absorbed host.
That's the way it has to be, man.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I'm the host.
I'm the host.
This is my show. Number 7, I have Mike Evans out of Tampa Bay. He makes I can't tell. I'm pretty sure it's mostly this one-sided way that Mike Evans is the reason why Jameis Winston looks good most of the time. Like, I like Jameis. I had him in my top 20. I think Jameis is a very competent, solid quarterback. But don't get me wrong, Mike Evans saves his life.
I just feel like Jameis Winston has no idea what's going on every time he goes on the field.
Dude, did you see the play where he broke like 9 bear tacklers?
He just always looks confused, and I don't know. He's not, but like every time he goes on the field, he just seems like he's confused. I don't know. I just feel that way, honestly. Mike Evans, I think, does make him a better quarterback.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dude, he's 6'5", if I'm not mistaken. He made Manziel look good. Don't forget, Manziel was a genie when he played at Texas A&M, but he made Manziel ridiculous. A genie. He's gonna end up on a roster, by the way. I think Manziel's going to the Patriots, man.
The genie.
He's the backup. He's who the Patriots get if they can't get Lamar Jackson.
We didn't talk about that last week. There's some.
Yeah, no. I think now that I think about it, that kind of makes sense. Yeah. I'm not saying Manziel is the guy.
He could be the filler for the guy.
He could be the filler for the guy after Brady retires. I think he likes New England. From what I understand, he's been to a few Pats games from like his social media that I've seen around.
He met with the Patriots coaching staff twice now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think he is the option if the Patriots can't get a quarterback like Lamar Jackson or something.
Or I mean, they could.
Sleeper pick Kyle Lalueta out of Richmond, by the way. Destiny Pakela, one of my friends, put me onto Kyle.
I don't think people are going to give Manziel a chance, and so I think there's a really good chance he goes to the Patriots for cheap.
He could.
I think there's a really good chance.
Well, I have no idea, man. It's really a guessing game where Manziel goes because he had all 32 teams at the Texas A&M Pro Day.
Yeah.
So we have no idea.
I don't know how many of them liked him though. But we'll have to wait and see. I think he's going to end up somewhere.
Make me a meme. I don't know, man.
You agree, though, he's probably going to end up somewhere.
I think he will at some point, but it might be closer to the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I think it'll be later in the year.
Yeah, we will have to see. But he looks like he's been in good shape, focused on football. It seems like he's done with that whole partying lifestyle. He said his backup plan is the CFL.
So is Kaepernick done? How is Manziel going to get a second chance, but not Kaepernick? Whatever. That's a whole other conversation. That's still really frustrating.
That's political.
That's just frustrating. That's so frustrating.
It's frustrating because
and wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah. There are views on it, and that's the tough part is like it's either you think that he deserves to be back in the NFL or you don't. Like you think like, oh, like there's a reason. Like I understand why he isn't. Because of the whole, people don't want to have the controversy, man. They just don't want to deal with it. And it's better to just not deal with it at all than have it on your team. That's the business side of it. All right, that's just the way I see it. Owners aren't touching him because it's like, well, if we sign him, then it's going to be controversy, and then blah, 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 and we're going to be surrounded by a media storm. And
Manziel might be
whatever.
Controversy, too. I mean, the dude.
But people weren't like saying that Manziel can't play in the NFL anymore. Shouldn't play in the NFL anymore. People weren't screaming and declaring upon social media that oh, Manziel's pushing against blah 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 and this and blah blah. I don't care.
I don't either
personally, but
the guy can play. There's plenty of teams that need a good quarterback. I don't see what the issue is. Go get the guy.
I think
people are still gonna go to your games. Relax. It's not the end of the world. Especially if you start winning.
I'm gonna stop watching the football.
No, you're not. No, you're not. If you're invested at this point, you're going to keep watching. Especially if you start winning. Like, if Kaepernick were to go to, like, let's say Miami, and he started balling out and winning, no one would care in Miami. No one would care. That's true. No one would care.
We shall see. It's just very political at the end of the day. And you can have your views on it. I have my own stance on it, and it's just... People get offended, man. It's 2018. Offended about everything. But let's keep going on this list. Jarvis Landry at number 8. And Jarvis Landry catches everything. Everything.
Yeah.
He should have a 99 overall rating. What, you pull up you getting ready for it?
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting.
Oh, yeah?
I've had them, man. I've had them. I've got both. I've got them.
Oh, you got Cooks?
I've got Cooks.
I thought you were going to pull up Jordy Nelson.
I was just curious to see what Cooks and... Well, keep going.
Yeah, he's getting ready. But Jarvis Landry, I think he's going to work really well in Cleveland. He worked really well in Miami, no matter who was at quarterback. Catches everything. Beast. And then number 9, he doesn't agree with me, but it's Doug Baldwin.
No, it's not Doug Baldwin.
It's Doug Baldwin.
Here's the thing about Doug Baldwin. Okay.
Doug Baldwin catches everything.
Let me give
Doug Baldwin is a savior for Russell Wilson.
Let me give you his stats. Okay, let's go to 2016 first.
Okay.
All right.
75 catches?
2016 is 94 catches.
Oh, okay.
1,000 yards, 1,100, so 1,100 yards around. Averaging 12 yards.
Okay.
And then 7 touchdowns in 2016.
Okay.
All right? Now let's go to Cooks. Cooks, 78 receptions, right? 1,100, excuse me. 15 yards. What? Hi, everybody. I'm going to read. And then 8 touchdowns. Right? So very similar, right?
Yeah.
Very similar.
But I don't think
Except Cooks gets more yards per catch on average.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. But then we'll go to 2017. We'll go back to Baldwin.
I think their numbers are similar.
No, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
75 receptions.
991 yards.
This is Baldwin, 991. And then 13 yards is the average, right? After the catch. And then 8 touchdowns. Brandin Cooks, 65 receptions, 1,000 yards. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
1,000 yards. And then 16 yards is the average after the catch. And then 7 touchdowns.
Brandin Cooks.
So, they're pretty much identical, statistically.
Statistically?
So my thing is, I feel like there's better receivers out there than both of them. I think they both belong in the top, 15.
I don't think...
And you could argue Baldwin's a little better, but overall, they're about the same.
I think Baldwin's a little better just because I think he's a more secure receiver. I think what he does is get open. I think he gets open more. And from what I've seen, the dude makes clutch catches. I like him.
I mean, overall, he gets more receptions, but...
That's just my personal
Cooks gets
feelings.
more yards per catch. So, and then about touchdowns are the same, and about yards, Cooks is a little better.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying statistically, I think Cooks actually is maybe slightly better. I'd maybe put.
But I wouldn't put Cooks in the top 10. I think that's why I understand that the disagreement. I think Baldwin overall is a terrific receiver. Runs really, really crisp routes. Oh,
yeah.
My mom's almost in town. Cool. Really crisp routes, great hands, and has been there for bigger moments for Seattle than Cooks has been either for New Orleans or New England. I could think of a few remarkable catches Baldwin's
He's had more
been involved
chances.
with.
He's also had more chances. What's the age on both of them, actually? I'm curious. I don't actually know.
I don't know if
you can keep going down the list if you want.
But anyway, and then number 10, I have Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's still a great run blocker. How old is Larry Fitzgerald at this point?
Oh, he's old, man. He's like 30.
He's still top 10 in the NFL to me.
I think so. I agree with that.
I mean, there's some guys that didn't make the cut either. You mean Des Bryant doesn't make the cut for me. Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders could have very well been on this top 10. He was really close to being on there. Demaryius Thomas, Stephon Diggs. What's up?
Baldwin's 29. Cooks is 24.
Yeah.
And Cooks is pretty much
So Cooks is younger.
Yeah, but he's slightly better too. Baldwin's had more time to play, and he's still slightly better. That's what I'm getting at.
What I'm saying is that I think Baldwin's just been better.
Well, yeah, because he's been in more. But if we're talking overall, the best wide receiver, I just think there's better people.
Baldwin is also underrated to me.
He is underrated, but I still think there's better players than both of them. There's better wide receivers. I think Jordy Nelson should be in there instead of Baldwin. He's way more clutch. I mean, the guy, red zone target wise. I mean, I pulled up the stats. What was it, last week or 2 weeks ago?
Jordy is a red zone monster.
Yes, he should be in the. I think should be in the.
I
top
think
10.
Crabtree is a red zone monster too, though.
Yeah, I think Crabtree's probably 11 or 12.
Personally,
honestly.
I'd rather have Doug Baldwin over both of them. I mean, Marvin Jones. No. There's Marvin Jones. There's Golden Tate as well. There's a lot of
Golden
receivers.
Tate is great.
Edelman's still in the list.
Well, we got to see how he plays.
I mean, he's after an injury, but he's still up there.
Yeah. What's going on with Bryant? Do you think is he going to make a comeback? Because he's been kind of in.
Des Bryant cannot separate from a corner.
I can't understand it.
He's a beast, but he can't separate from a corner. That's the problem. Is that it gives Dak almost no window to throw to him because you might have. It's either Dez has to come down with it, or it's probably going to get picked. So it's a liability to throw routes to Dez, and he's a deep route receiver. So if he can't get separation, like he's fast, NFL receiver wise, he's still fast. You know what I mean? He's a freak athlete, but he is not able to separate from corners, unless you remember the what was it, Janoris Jenkins?
Yeah,
when he was with the Rams, when he just put him on skates.
Yeah,
but he already had tons of separation.
How tall is he though? Because he's got a pretty good height advantage. Yeah, he's got.
Dez is like 6'3", I think.
I mean, height wise, he's got an advantage over a lot of guys. That's part of the reason why it helps him, right?
I think Julio Jones and Dez Bryant have about the same body.
Yeah,
but I think Julio has better footwork, and I think he has better hands, and he can release off of corners better. That's just something Dez just cannot do.
I mean, Dez is just lucky in the sense that he's so much taller that if he can't get separation, he can still go up and fight for the ball.
Oh, Dez is a freak athlete.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that...
I know what you're saying.
I'm saying is that I think that, there's something that he just hasn't done yet. And he needs to figure out how to either separate from corners or just get better route running or something.
Yeah. It's been...
You can't play... Like, Michael Irvin, for instance, was a great cowboy, but you can't play like Michael Irvin did. Back then, you know what I mean? Like, Michael Irvin was a freak athlete then. Dez Bryant's a freak athlete now. But everybody in the NFL are ridiculous freak athletes.
Yes.
Like, you meet anybody in the NFL. I met Kyle Arrington. Kyle Arrington is my height, and he is a monster of a human being. Like, he's just gigantic.
Yeah, they're huge.
Like, I saw the Redskins Patriots practice in 2014. Brian Arakpo scares me, but I bet he's a nice guy. Brian Arakpo is a scary, physically gigantic human being. They're all big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Brandon Browner, 6'4".
Where's he playing?
He's not in the league anymore.
Oh, that's sad. He was really good with the
He's a penalty machine.
Yeah, but he was so good with us and with the Seahawks. What?
I don't want to be mean to Brandon Browner because he seems like a decent guy on social media, but he was buying into the flat earth stuff.
No, he wasn't.
He was.
No.
You look it up. I promise you.
Get out.
And I think I posted a pretty savage comment. I'm not gonna lie. I posted on Brandon Browner's Instagram. He said something about flat Earth, and my response was because he went to I'm pretty sure it was like Oregon State University. I was like, Oregon State University has a really good physics program. Why don't you give them a call? Here, and I attached their number to it.
You're savage.
I think I'm pretty cool.
Give them a call.
That's right.
Oh, I didn't say you were cool.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty awesome. I am the Jerry Seinfeld buzz knees. Yeah, that was a B movie joke. How do you feel about that? It was a B-rate joke.
I'm depressed.
Puns.
I'm depressed for you. Making B jokes.
B movie.
B movie jokes. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
A B movie joke about a B movie.
Okay. Anyways, what were we talking about?
Just like irritating.
Des Bryant.
Des Bryant.
being an amazing
Des
athlete.
Bryant is an amazing athlete, but I feel bad for Dak. Well, they got Allen Hurns. Allen Hurns is at least able to separate from receivers. Like Terrence Newman is a little unremarkable. He has his moments where he's remarkable, and then he has moments where he's like, all right, he's just another receiver. Des Bryant can be pedestrian. You know what I mean?
Oh, he can.
Cole Beasley's good coming out the slot, but he's so underutilized.
He's the kind of guy that would.
And Jason Witten's just getting old at this point. I'm
Beasley,
sorry.
Beasley would be great in New England. Just throwing that out there. Wouldn't he? Wouldn't he be really?
You
good
could
in
sign
New England?
him for what Julian Edelman's worth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could sign him for a little bit less than that.
Yeah.
And you'd have the same player.
You have a
almost.
slightly better Amendola, probably.
You would have Cole Beasley is like Julian Edelman with the long hair.
Yeah, he's discounted.
A little bit.
A little
Yeah.
bit. There's nothing wrong with that.
But that's what the Patriots do. They find guys that are just a little bit less
exactly.
ability-wise, and they go sign them.
Yep.
And they win championships. We got like 4 more minutes.
Rams.
The Rams. Boom or bust on the Rams. Do you think they're a Super Bowl team right now? They made... All right, look. Brandin Cooks, as we talked about today, and Ndamukong Suh signing, traded for Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib.
That's scary.
It's scary, but we see these rosters every season. We think somebody's going to be ridiculously great. Remember when the Eagles had like Nnamdi Asomugha and they had like Vince Young coming off the bench, and they had a ton of good players that year, right? If I'm not mistaken, they were supposed to be the team, and they went like 8-8.
It happens every year. There's always a team that everybody thinks is going to be amazing, and they're just
Like I hope the Eagles don't crumble. They're a heck of a team. They're the favorites to win the Super Bowl this year. You know what I mean?
No,
Their defensive line is stacked, but I think at some point the Cap's going to catch up with them.
They can honestly. Okay, are the Rams going to boom or bust?
I think the Rams. There's a lot of personality on that team.
I think they're going to boom. I'm gonna make a bold prediction.
I think if the personalities work well and they focus on football,
I think these guys who went in there,
this team could be incredibly dominant.
I think these guys realize that there's a very small window for them to do great things there, and they're going to take it.
Yeah.
I think all of them there.
Oh no, because within the next 2-3 years,
2 years.
there's gonna be no cap to
2
fill.
years. Like
And
honestly.
Aaron Donald still hasn't been re-signed for like a new contract. Like he's looking for a contract extension. They just
Isn't
keep
that
putting
insane? That's
it on. Aaron Donald, best defensive tackle in football. And Ndamukong Suh's nasty though. That's gonna be scary to watch this season.
yeah, but I can't believe they haven't re-signed him. That's insane. That's like not re-signing Von Miller. You'd be like, what are you doing? Right? A player of that caliber re-signed him.
Defensive Player of the Year. Have you seen his training regimen?
No.
Aaron Donald.
No.
He uses knives to work on his handwork.
What?
Not kidding. You should see it.
What do you mean he
It's
uses knives? Like the whole
No. Like he has somebody wearing like these big padded like arm things so he can smack at their arms that holds knives and tells them, all right, that's gonna go. This is the pattern. Remember that. So he shows it to him real quick, and then Donald has to like hands.
Yo, that's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So if you haven't seen it, look it up. We're on the last minute of the Rines Report here. Thank you all for tuning into today's show. Catch us next week to get your NFL updates and news. The draft is approaching. Get ready. Send me some mock drafts. Post it on the Rines Report Facebook page. This has been the Rines Report on RadioFreeRadford.com.